it. Well, when it came to finding the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, we can always see the rainbow, but not the pot of gold. Well, the kick was you had to be the person that the rainbow was for. And when you got closer to the rainbow now was something you can walk and move on. And at the other side of it was the gold. Anybody could see the rainbow. Everybody can see the journey. But only the people who actually walk on the journey get to get the gold or even see the gold.
Hey, yo, G-Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G-Dash Jones. Hold on. Y'all know what we doing. Listen, it's Hats Off with your boy G-Dash Jones. Woo. Listen, this week right here. Hold up. I say this week right here. Oh man, I got the myth, the legend on my show. He goes by the name of Artie Foxx. Yes. Mr. Rapper's Poetry himself will be live and direct on my show today. Yes. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all the things that get into it, right? Everything that, by the way, he organizes different groups. He's hosts different spoken word situations, and he's a musical artist. Been spitting literally all types of stuff. So we're going to get into it, hailing all the way from Baltimore. So we're going to have a great conversation. Not only is he a poet, but he is also a hip-hop artist, right? So he does a little... I mean, we going to be chopping it up now. So he'll be up here also, right? Got a special treat today. Hold on. Wait for it. Boom. Scared. I'm going to have my man Lex in the building. Oh, for when I have to update your calendars, I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna go through some of these events.
Let's hop right into it before we get into your content and everything that you have.
What's going on, bro?
Yes, sir. How you feeling?
Man, feeling great.
That's what I'm talking about. Ah, man. So, let me get Artie up here as well. Like that. If I get the opportunity to have two poets on the deck. With that said, they in case they don't know, heard of you, tell them a little bit about yourself, my man.
All right, so my name is Lex TheGentleman. I am a spoken word artist. I like to call myself an inspirational spoken word artist. And I have a feature show, a poetry show that's on the Tagged app. So if anybody has the Tagged app, tap in every Monday night. Or if you don't have it, download the Tagged app. Tap in every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have two featured poets and an open mic. And and then I'm also an author, published author. So I released a poetry book this year. So Lost and Found, Poems to Inspire the Fire Within. It's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I have 26 poems that are sure to inspire your fire within on there. So, yeah.
Talk about it. What, my man ain't playing. 20, man, listen, he put a dub up on these people. You see what I'm saying? Anytime there's a full dub up on them, man, wait, listen, it's not a game. I got my man Artie in the building. Y'all know, listen, and he is here. Mr. Rapper's Poetry himself. How you feeling, good brother?
I'm cooling, bro. Having a good day. I'm alive. So if I'm alive, I'm gonna make something out of the day. How I go through.
That's a fact. Anytime we on the right side of the earth, the right side of the dirt, we figuring it out, brother. I ain't even this is what we talking about. Now, before I get into it, right? So here's what I like to do, right? I like to do a thing where I be like, hey, I'm gonna update the calendar. Okay. I'm now. So since I got Lex here, right? I'm gonna make sure that I mention spoken word. I'm gonna have it on the list. I'm gonna try to say to what I do is I try to cover different things that's happening within the next week. Couple different things. Couple things is my things, but a couple things that's happening within the next week. But I want to do it in a spoken word fashion. All right. So we we gonna see how I don't crash out on this. All right, we just gonna do it, and we're gonna see how it flows. So, with that said, I know I'm going to have to talk about that spoken her situation. With that said, so Artie, you got something for me? Do you want me to add in on that?
Nah, do your thing.
Okay. You ain't got ain't no events coming up or anything next week? You want me to plug?
Bro, I got so much stuff, bro, that it would take my head too much time to try to figure it out right now while I'm doing this and doing this. So, bro, every other Thursday in Virginia, that's the only thing I can think of off top in Alexandria, bro. I do that. I host the open mic there too, bro.
Okay. What's it called?
Rapids Poetry Open Mic.
Ravish Poetry Open Mic. All right.
It's poetry.
Oh, it's yours. Okay, the Rapids Poetry Open Mic. Got you. Okay. Boom. All right. So I got Rapids Poetry Open Mic. Checking my list. Checking it twice. Boom. And that's every other Thursday. Bow. And then we got the Tagged app. I got Spoken Heard, right?
Yep.
Bow. Monday nights get that popping. Okay. Let's see. I'm thinking. You might want to figure out what you're supposed to do. Well, let me help you update your calendar. Here's a few. I'm going to say tomorrow you can go see me live at Finnegan's, but then again, you'll see Amadeo, Black Waldo, and of course, LJ Walsh as Delaware Music Networks gets live. And I promise you the vibes is going to be all the way high. And after you see we, then you can go to the BP because down at Icons, you're going to see my man D Harv, and he going to shut it down with nothing but the illest lyricists in them streets. Peep, it's a whole showcase. But I know what you gonna say. Well, that's Friday. What about the next day? Saturday, there's the check-in at the UAE. You gonna have some vibes, music, DJs gonna spin some things. Shouts out to Pazzi and Tierra Lachey. You'll see. I promise you, go there and you'll see everything you need. You can rest on Saturday, see a replay of me talking to RD. Guarantee that's just how the vibes would be. Maybe Monday might come. Oh, we're not done. Spoken Heard, Lex TheGentleman. You know, we getting it done. You can see that Tagged app and get all your bars, and I know that you need that. Then as you can go through the week, I don't even want you to hit delete. No, can't even complete that because by the time you get to Wednesday, I'll be at the UAE hosting, well, some old musicology, the commentary that you'll feel will hit you in your spirit for real. And then after that, you can also go to, again, to see Genesis Z all build at the live jam session. I'm just keeping it real. I'm trying to let y'all know what y'all can do throughout the week to chill. Then when Thursday come back around, what you're going to do is be at the crib kicking with me. Just being real. Hats off with G-Jones. But if you feel like you need to go out, do more than just eat some dinner, you're going to see my man Artie Foxx down in Virginia. Rapids Poetry. You hear me? You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Something light, you know what I mean? Little dice roll on them. You feel me? I just stack it up.
I swear I was trying to find a top hat, bro. I don't got no fedoras or nothing.
Look.
I swear, bro, I was walking around my crib looking for something like a bucket to put on so much. I swear to God, bro. I'm not even lying to you, bro. I might have to throw in a fitted just because I don't have nothing else to wear, and I love your hat collection so much, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Listen,
you see, I had to come with the New York. I had to come with New York fitted, man. You know, I gotta.
Yes, you kept it classic.
Man.
Real quick before I let you go. Now, especially because I just want people to know they go on the Tagged app, right? Because I thought the Tagged app was a whole dating app, and I was like, wait, you want me to come on a dating app?
Bro, me too, bro.
I ain't gonna
lie.
So
me about it. It's so hard for me to like balance it out because last time I was over there, shit was messy. Yeah. So I don't want to go back over there on the same shit. I'm going to have to start a new profile or something if I do go over there because I don't even want none of the same people to be able to know. You know, it was messy, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Yeah. It was bad them days. You feel me, bro?
So look, I go through any poet that I bring on there from off the app. I always have to give them a disclaimer. I'm like, you got two sides to the app. You got the dating side and you got the streaming side. All right, I'm on the streaming side. My show's on the streaming side, And here's the thing: when you're on the streaming side, you can close it. There's a way you can close your inbox, so you don't have to worry about getting a whole bunch of scam messages and messages you don't want to see. So you close the inbox.
Come
You know what
on,
I'm saying?
they've been trying to be my sugar mama and shit, bro. I be
Right, yeah.
falling for it,
You
bro.
get them all.
I be
Yeah, all
falling
of them,
for
man.
it, bro. I like how it sound, bro. They catch me every time, bro. I'm like, damn, you said 3,500? All right, old lady, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, it gets crazy, but yeah. So I tell folks, man, just go to the streaming side, come on, for the show, and then you can log out, you can delete it and reinstall it again the next Monday. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, but close that inbox. Just stay on the streaming side. And you good, But yeah, tag that.
While I got you here, what made you choose that app? Like, what made you go with that word?
It's great, man. That's a great question. So it's wild how it happened, because so after the pandemic, I was like, man, I was like sitting around, and I talked to a friend of mine was telling me, like, man, they have streaming on these apps, and like she was saying, when she gets bored, she just goes on the apps. And so I tried it out on another side, another app, right? And the name that I created was never supposed to be my spoken word name. My spoken word name was Seven the Poet. That's the original spoken word name I had. But I got on the app. It was an app on was it POF? I think, yeah. And then while I was on there, I was like, oh, they got streaming on here, right? So I started going to the streaming part again. Had created the name, Lex TheGentleman. And then somebody on that side, they were like, yo, there's another app that's called Tagged. And it was like, and it's a whole lot of black folk, So I was like, all right, let me try it out. You know what I'm saying? So I went over there, and I started, I did spoken word. I went to somebody's stream, and I did a spoken word piece. And they were like, yo, you should stream and do spoken word. And so I was like, what? I was like, then, you can get, people see gifts, you get paid and stuff. I was like, okay, let me try this out. So I started streaming. I did spoken word, and people started just coming in my stream. And then people started asking to be on their shows on the streaming side. And I started, performing. And then they was like, you should get your own show. And so that's how it all happened, man.
Wow.
So, and then next thing I knew,
you getting checks in the mail. Woo! Shouts out to you.
Yeah, man. So that was the
road.
So
story.
Yeah.
Listen, so I just before I let you go, just wanted to want the world to know. You go on Tag that I've been on my man Luda Poet's show. Mm-hmm. He be having you get your bars on. It's a blessing. That's always fun. Yeah. That's vibe. Lex TheGentleman, when he get to it, you gonna get to the poetry. You gonna get some facts. Right, they're gonna give you some like poetry facts, like they gonna make you guess poet. Like it's a whole world on this show. You gotta go and it's features. So it's a dope vibe over there. I've been a part of that. Right. So you be thinking, don't get lost in you thinking that it's gotta be yams or whatever it is. It don't gotta be that. Yeah. Like you can go there's at and it's a whole world of different live streams that people go on to make money and create. So
shout out to Luda Poet, because when I got over there, when I started doing spoken word, people were like, "Oh, you need to link with Lou," and so I linked with Lou and started, and doing poetry, and it is, man, it's like a whole another world out there, It's like you enter into the whole portal, But definitely anybody, so I'm like, download the app, Tag that, like I said, stay on the streaming side, and tap in every Monday 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spoken Heard. It's live, man.
Spoken Heard. My man, Lex TheGentleman. Thank you, sir, for stopping by, bro. I appreciate it.
Definitely, man. Appreciate you having me, bro.
Absolutely. We're going to come bring you back. We're going to talk.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad
nice to meet you too.
Y'all two got to meet. That wasn't accidental either.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you too, bro. Yeah.
Definitely follow you back, bro. I'm going to come over to Tag. I actually got offered a couple features on the Tag, bro, but I ain't going to lie. It's just so much other shit going on that until I go over there and see it for myself, I'm one of those people that I just didn't take it serious yet, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I actually got offered 2 features on there, and I had to turn them down. I'm like, just because what Tag was for me way before COVID. Way before COVID. Tag was one of those apps that, niggas went to as a young boy to go fuck around with that and POF. So hearing those apps just throw me off a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, you feel me? So it's like anything. It depends on what you do, because I actually started doing poetry on Clubhouse, but I know it's people who be like, Clubhouse, I be on there doing bullshit. So it depends on what you doing, who you on there with, you feel me, and where you find yourself at. So I'm not opposed to anywhere doing poetry, because you can find motherfuckers doing this shit everywhere, for real, but you just gotta have the right mindset to want to find and go do certain shit, because it's gonna be distractions in life no matter what we do, bro.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's an app on or off the app, bro. It's something that can distract you if you got a weak will. So that's just life, bro. That don't have shit to do with the apps.
Yeah.
That's how life is, for real.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Well, look, definitely, man. Stop through Monday at 9 p.m., man. I would love to feature you sometime. But check it out. Check the show out. See how you feeling it, man. And we go from there. But definitely would love to have you on there as a feature. So, because that's the one thing I'm trying to do is bring more folks, that aren't on there, on the app, for the show. And then, who knows? If they get on there, they like it, and start streaming themselves, that's on them. But I just, I'm just trying to get them on the show.
And that's very intentional on why I brought you in on this at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? So that it can appeal to an audience that's just outside of you and me and, a world of poetry that, different.
Yeah.
So.
Wax. Yeah.
All right, good brother.
All right, man. All right, now everybody go out and get the book. Anybody's saying, go out and get the book. Go out and get the book, Lost and Found Poems Inspired Fire Within. Let's go. I appreciate you, bro.
Inspire fire. Right. I need to come back. I ain't been there in a couple weeks, man. I'm gonna be back through.
Come back through with that Inspired Fire. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, good brother. Thank you.
All right,
man. Man, Artie, where you at? You there? Good day, sir.
Bro.
Now, all right. Now, I'm gonna start off. Okay, so here's the thing, right? One of the reasons why I don't know how I met you. I know it was through this virtual spoken word world, and it was one of these things that for me, like, I've been doing this show for 2 years. This year, I made it intentional to say I'm going to have people who not only are spoken word artists, but push a movement and host different ciphers or host different rooms or host places to put other poets on. Like it's not just about them, but it's about the art of poetry and helping everybody else. So far, I've had Ramrock Speaks from Canada. He had a whole different world up there.
Oh, no, I know.
You gonna know almost everybody. You might know everybody. I had Benita Poetry and Tierra Nicole up here because they had the lyrical cipher, right? Boom. Then I had my man Trey Brown. That ain't even what they call him. I don't know why. That's what popped into my head. Pyro. But I had Pyro up here. We was breaking it down, right? And then I was like, hold up, right? I'm going through. There's a couple people who I'm like, wait, I need to talk to because the connection was early. You one of them. Poets Playground is one of them. I got to get Uncultured up here too because she be with them anyway. She be rocking. But just to because again, for you, the craft of poetry isn't about you doing spoken word at all. Like it is. That's a part of it, but it's about educating other people. Hey, every time you'll educate them about the business of it, which I love. Like you don't mind getting into the what's up, what we doing, like
bro, because even now, I don't have a lot of people to educate me on shit. So for me, it ain't just me educating people. It's me literally learning this shit as I'm going, but I'm vocal about what my journey looked like. I'm vocal about the steps that it takes and how hard or how easy or whatever it takes for me to do it so that other people are looking and they like, how do he do this? Or why can't I do this? Because that's how I felt. Like I have nobody to offer me things and put me in position and show me shit. I had to kind of like figure it out on my own. You feel me? So I'm just glad to be a help to people, for those people who did reach out to help me and shit, like Brandon Leak. When I met Brandon, I didn't know who he was. You feel me? I didn't know who the nigga was. It came on my Instagram live because J Rose was on my Instagram live. Shout out to J Rose. So through that, invited me out to Vegas. And that was before I'd even done poetry in a space that was more than 30 people before. You feel me? So invited me to do poetry in front of tons of people before I could. So I have had a lot of help But when it came to the business side, when it came to the structuring side, it's still, I'm still trying to figure it out. And I feel like, all right, instead of me sitting around complaining about not having people to help me or shit being difficult, I think I'm gonna just do this shit and move with it, because it ain't pretty much nothing in my life that I've ever tried and couldn't do. And that's not just to be cocky or nothing, but anything I tried and put my all into, I was at least okay at it. And I feel like I'm better than okay at poetry. So that side, I'm good. I'm good with the, and this is not tooting my horn or nothing. I just think I'm good at doing poetry. I think I'm good enough at doing poetry that I can also help and assist other people into finding what good poetry looks like to them. And then while I'm doing that, become a better version of myself. So everything I do helps myself and other people. I don't know how to do it no other way, because this is just the kind of person I am. It just so happens that it works the way it do for real. It's not like I planned it that way. It's just that I like doing shit to make sure that I'm good. And the best way is making sure other people good so that they can make sure I'm good. That kind of shit paves not only just in poetry, but that's just the kind of person I am in life. So doing it in poetry is just, it's regular, because this is actually who I am. I didn't come to poetry to find me. No offense to nobody else, but I came to poetry to structure me. I knew who I was before I got here. So it's a difference between finding yourself and structuring yourself. And it's no offense to anybody else. We all on different journeys, but I didn't need to find myself in poetry. I needed some structure. And me finding that and finding other people who have better structure than me, or just a better way of seeing things, has helped me to now help other people. And that's my favorite part about poetry, the fact that as much as people think that I help other people, well, I am helping myself just as much. And I'm glad that it don't look like that, because I can continue to do that at a high level and continue to get better by myself and continue to do whatever other people see me doing. So it's like a win-win on both sides shit to me, for real, bro.
Okay. Now I got to back up, right? Because we knee deep into it. And before we do that, it's going to sound crazy, but can you tell the people a little bit about yourself? Like, we got it, because we tucked it in the deep, and it's like, hold up, let's introduce him to you real quick. What you all that.
I mean, so bro, I think and I don't want to sound shallow or small or nothing, but I think I'm a regular guy, right? I absolutely think I'm one of the most regular people in the world, right? But I think the difference between me and some people is I believe in my regular so much that it look like magic to other people. I believe in the regular me. I am a nerd at its core. Like as I'm on the phone with you, I'm looking at my Zelda figurine collection and my Pokemon cards and my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and my Lego blocks, and I'm just looking like, damn. As a poet and as an artist, I never changed the stuff I have. I mean, whether it's money, growth, nothing in my life has changed within the last 15 years. I just got better at the shit I already did. The things that I already was good at, I'm a better structure at doing it. The things I used to love, now I really love them because I know how to love me. So I have more love to offer the things around me. So a little about myself is just that I love me and the people around me so much that everything I do feels special. I'm not gonna lie. So I tend to get or people who don't like me because I'm so confident in myself, and not because I think I'm better than people, but because I love me. I love the people around me, bro. Like it took me a long time to find. Like if people would have known me 3-4 years ago, I was a different person. So the people, it looks so confident, it looks so fresh and polished, but this is a new me for me. So I'm so happy and in love with the new me that I don't know a little about myself, bro. I'm still trying to find out a little about myself. What I can tell you is that I am a good person to people that are good to me. And all I'm looking to do is be happy with people who are happy being themselves, bro. Anything else besides that just comes with the fact that I love being me and seeing other people be them. Anything else that comes from that, anything else, well, that's an extra added on. I honestly feel like as a person, I've accomplished all the dreams that people thought I couldn't do. When people told me I wouldn't make it to be 16, I'm 37 years old. People told me I wouldn't make it out of high school. I have a college degree. People told me so much stuff. And as I think back to all the stuff that people told me I couldn't do, I almost think that they told me that stuff on purpose. Like if we tell him he can't do this stuff, he gonna do it extra well. So now I don't think, and again, this is not me being cocky. I think I can do anything, bro. I think I have the ability to do anything. I don't think there is a thing in the world that if I tried my best to do, that I couldn't at least do a little bit, right? So when I look at the world, I think the world is fucked up. I'm trying my best to make the world a little less fucked up. Because if I've tried everything else in my life and I did it just a little bit, why the fuck can't I make the world a better place? Just a little bit. You feel me? And that's what I think about every single day, bro. I spent my life trying to figure out what my purpose was, and finally waking up and realizing I was already in my purpose. I just had to see that and live that and stand on that. So now it's just me living that, me reassuring myself on a daily basis that this purpose is one that I chose. This purpose is one that I'm comfortable with. This is a purpose that is who I am. And to be honest, bro, of course I have bad days like everybody else do. I go through shit like everybody else go through. But every single day I'm able to look in the mirror at myself, and no matter what the fuck is going on, I am absolutely amazed at the person I see now. I am amazed at the person I see. Like I'm not more happy to see no other human being than myself every day. And this is the first time in my life that I could ever say that. It always took someone else's happiness or seeing someone or being around somebody else for me to find happy. And now I figured out a way to find that happy in me.
Man, all right. So I salute you for reaching that point in life as a black man. Sometimes there's a lot of obstacles that tear us down externally that make us believe things internally. So to be there, that's a beautiful space. With that said, I want to rewind it back, right? Because you as an artist, right, a rapper, not only just a congregator of people, of talent, but you know, between making music and being a poet, right? To me, I was thinking to myself, I said, the common denominator here is creative writing, right? Can you take me back to your journey into that creative writing space, whether it started with the poetry or started with the raps, or, you know, how did you kind of get into knowing that you could even write like that?
Hey, bro, if you want me to be real, I don't know. As long as I can remember, no, I'm not lying to you. As long as
I know, but I just love how you answer the question.
I can remember being a cognizant person. I remember being 4 or 5 years old, right? And I remember listening to rap and tons of music and not liking it, but not liking it because I wasn't at a point where I could understand it yet, right? And I remember the older I got, the more I understood rap, the more I like it. But it wasn't just rap, rock and roll, any sounds, any music, I grew to love, right? And as I started writing, the first thing I ever wrote was a poem. I'm in school, maybe pre-K, kindergarten, roses are red, violets are blue type shit, right? And I wasn't in love with it yet, but I knew I could do it very easy because when the teacher asked us to do it, I wrote good poetry immediately. I wasn't in love with it though. It wasn't a feeling that I had from creating. The older I got in every level of school, from 1st grade to 12th grade, I have wrote a poem in school for some reason or shared it in school. And people have been telling me that I was a poet, right? So when I tell you I don't know, nobody showed me how to write poetry. Nobody showed me how to creatively write. I just write how I feel, whether it's rap or poetry. So even now, bro, and this is not me going against the grain, but I don't see myself as that good of a writer. And I'm being honest. Like, I know people who I think are way better at writing. And I'm talking about, they're not even poets. Just people I know. My mom is a better writer than my little brother who's in prison right now. When I get his letters now, and I'm like, yo, you are an amazing writer. Like, these people who I admire their writing. I don't think I have that. I think I'm an okay writer. But what I have that people, that you can't learn, is the ability to make people feel what I feel just from talking. I don't know how I got that, but since I've been a little kid, bro, 4 or 5 adults have told me, you talk like an adult. I love talking to you, Artie. My whole life, bro, I've heard people say stuff like, and I didn't understand how important that was until now that I realized that when it comes to speaking and being an empath, but also transferring the energy I have in me to other people, it's like my magic power. Like, I don't have to do anything. I could write a bunch of bullshit, which I've done plenty of times. I've tried to not impress people and still performed it so well that they're like, oh my God, it's fire. And I'm like, no, it's not. But me realizing that it has nothing to do with how I write it, but how I say it, how I convey. And I can't help that part. I can't help but to how I perform. I don't practice performing. I let that shit out how it feels to me. I don't even practice poetry until it's time to do it. So the poems that I remember, I just remember them because who knows? Or maybe I write them a certain, I haven't figured that shit out yet. I'm still new in poetry in that sense, trying to find out what poetry is all the way to me. But now I feel like I'm this raw version of myself that I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with. So when it comes to writing, and again, I'm not against nobody. I love writers. Some of my favorite poets are dope writers, but writing isn't the part that I'm in love with. I'm in love with being able to speak how I feel and not take any energy from myself to give it. I have an unlimited amount of that energy that I didn't know I had. So I don't spend time writing poetry, but I might spend 15, 20 minutes top on my best poem. And what it takes me a long time to do is to feel something from this poem now. And now figure out how I want people to feel from this poem. That's the process of poetry to me. Understanding who listening to me, who watching me, who cares about what I'm saying. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to make you feel? That's more of the process to me than writing. Writing is just whatever. Writing is words, bro. Writing is just words to me. Now, how those words feel, that is it's like a comic book when you see pow or bam or bang. I want every single word I say to have that effect like a verb. I want every adjective, every noun, every pronoun to feel like a verb to you. I want you to feel like I'm saying something to move you, even when the purpose isn't to move you, to make you do anything. And that's what the process of creating is for me. It's trying to make my words become verbs, even if they don't have actions, bro.
So while that is amazing to me. It means like what you are first is truly a spoken word artist, whether it's rapping, whether it's poetry, whatever. What you are first is that motivational speaker aspect, and it's natural. It reminds me of a time, Ghostface said, like, on his show, and like literally when he was first writing raps, people don't realize that Ghostface wasn't making sense. Okay, Ghostface didn't know what he was talking about. He was just saying stuff, but the way that his flow was so crazy that you had to connect to it, right? You pull up in the pudding Wallies.
It's kind of like, bro, it's kind of like Benny the Butcher, bro. Like, at first, I didn't know what Benny the Butcher was talking about. I didn't get it. But then all of a sudden, it started hitting me like bricks. Like, whoa, this nigga crazy. Hold up. But not just Benny, everybody he be around. Like, their flows was a little bit slower. The schemes was a little bit 90s and 2000s mix, but with a New York twang to it. And my ears weren't comfortable with it because I've been here in Atlanta and Philly and Baltimore and New York mixed for so long that I forgot what pure music sound like. And I'm not saying it wasn't influenced by something else, but I forgot what music that came from their heart sound like. I forgot what that sound like. So when I open, not my ears up again, but when I open my heart up to other people's pain and other people's energy, everything sound the same then. When I listen with my ears, shit don't sound the same. But when I listen with my heart, every form of music I've ever heard, not even music, when I see somebody painting a picture, I'm like, yo, the same energy I used to write a poem, you used to do that painting, I bet. I can see it in your arms. I can see it in the strokes. I can see it in your face. And it's the same energy I use when I'm sitting and I'm crafting my poem. So me realizing that what an artist has nothing to do with what you say, but what we do. It's like, oh, so it's not just my words? And as a rapper, it is hard to come to that conclusion because as a rapper, it's all about my words. So it's like, damn, chill. You gotta chill, rapper. I still need you. Just not that side of you. And me realizing that once I did that with my poetry, that it amplified my rap now too, because the importance of that also in my rapping, but keeping the importance in the words, it's like, damn, I didn't even know I needed to grow that way. I didn't know I needed to add that to who I was. So becoming a good poet made me a way better rapper, but even more importantly, made me a way better speaker when I'm not talking anything, when I'm just talking to people. Now I go back and think about conversations, or like my mom does weird shit like record me. Like, did you hear yourself talking? And I don't, because I don't, how am I gonna hear myself? But just like talking to my family or talking to my nieces and nephews, and my mom made me realize that I am definitely naturally just like some type of motivational speaker, and it doesn't seem that way because it's who I've been my whole life. But it's once I realized that, I realized like, all right, so writing is a thing for you, and I love writing, but what is natural for me is just knowing how to talk, bro. Well,
Oh, okay. So now, did you used to ever read poetry, or did you have poets that you liked, or when? How did that?
yeah,
Or did
So
it come from?
my favorite poet is, my favorite poet is Langston Hughes. My favorite rapper is Styles P. The first poem I memorized was a poem called Dreams by Langston Hughes, and the first song that I can memorize front to back was a song called Nobody Believes by Styles P, where him, J Hood, Sheek Luch, they all on the song together, but he's speaking in third party to all of them. And as a kid, I don't know why that song made so much sense to me and in that form. Like my gun, my drugs, my money, they all talk to me in a different way. And as a 10, 12-year-old kid, that was already something that I wanted to do, not as far as what he was doing, but how he crafted that. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna write something one day, and I'm gonna be talking about my money and my weed, and so the structure of writing didn't just come from one place for me. It came from me seeing Langston Hughes write a 10-line poem, and then me seeing Styles have a song that's 3 verses, three hooks and 7 verses, but 3 different people. Me realizing like there's no set way to do this. Oh, okay. So me realizing that it's how I do it. So even as a kid, I took the stuff around me and kind of mixed it up. I didn't just look at rappers or just look at poets. So nah, all the artists around me, I kind of pinched a little bit. Like Will Smith is one of my favorite black movie stars. So I get it fucked up. He's not one of my favorite rappers, but Will Smith is one of my favorite
Don't
movie
do that.
stars, right?
You know you be loving the Big Willie style all in it. Getting jiggy with it.
That's how I get it fucked up. That's how I get it fucked up. And I'm not, and the reason why I'm not downplaying Will Smith's rap, I think Will Smith was an absolute pioneer. First rapper to win a Grammy. First rapper to have a double-sided disc. First rapper to travel the. Listen, I know my facts, so I'm not saying that I don't like Will Smith, or for any second am I being on some shit and I'm like, oh, Will Smith ain't a dope ass rapper. Nah, that ain't it, bro. But at the same time, when I think of what I like as a rapper, you got to do a lot more than Will Smith did, and he didn't do that because he didn't have to, because he was an actor, because he was a dope father, because he had a lane to do other shit. So this is not against him, but because he is such a dope person, he didn't have to be my favorite rapper. Will Smith is one of my favorite people in the world. That is a way higher honor than to be one of my favorite rappers. You feel me? So, but I say that to say that Will Smith being a rapper and then being an actor, you feel me? He's like, oh shit, this nigga rapping. This nigga won a Grammy? Oh shit, this nigga on TV? I was never in a box because of the stuff I looked at, because of the people that I saw around me. I always believed that I could do whatever I wanted to. You feel me? So whether I watch Styles P or watch Eminem, a white rapper from Detroit, be one of the best rappers in the world where he wasn't supposed to exist. Like I always paid attention not only to the art, but what it took to do the art. That was always just as important to me. Like, oh, okay. So in my life, I just kind of pitched a little bit of everybody. Like Kobe. Kobe went over to France. I went to France for 2 years and shit. I was an exchange student. When it comes to who I think I am as a person, I'm literally like, I built myself of a Lego blocks of all my favorite people. And I took a piece of Lego block from all of them and I stacked it up and added it to the shit I got. So when I think about where something started, nothing about me started in one place or with one thing. Everything about myself started with everything that I immersed it in, whether it was Pokemon and realizing how much I like stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean like Pokemon was the first thing I had where these little monsters, I cared about them. I cared about their growth. I cared about how strong they got. I cared about a lot of stuff about it as a kid. But it showed me the importance and the value of stuff besides myself. And I'm like, oh shit. So as I got older, when it came to stuff like having pets and me being a weird ass collector of bees and lightning bugs and shit like that, all that went back to Pokemon. Me seeing that the creator of Pokemon was just a weird ass bug collector nigga who took that idea and made a game of it. And now that game is a multi-billionaire game. So as a kid, I realized small shit like, yo, even the corny shit I do about myself could one day make me a special person. So throughout my life, I never stopped doing nothing. Anything I love doing, even if I don't do it a whole bunch no more, it's still attached to me. It's still a part of me. I mean, I walk around with that so people can see that, well, I didn't just become this person by myself. Nah, I came this person believing in and admiring other people, because I think that's how great people are born. That's how great people are made, not just being one of anything, but literally being good at everything.
I dig it. I dig it. Jack of all trades. Now, okay, so now, based on what you do and, you know, how you fell in love with the words and actually giving them out the words, creating the art, like performing it. Do you remember the first time you actually took those words onto a stage?
Absolutely. First grade, there was this thing called the Choice Program.
Okay.
And they came to our school, and we had to create a rap with the people in our class. And I remember the hook, clean heart and clean free. Think about peace and unity. Throw your trash in the trash can, cause trash is what we see throughout the community. Like, no lie, bro. Like, first grade, me and like this girl, Latavia, and my man Kev, we wrote a song. We didn't have adults around us. We didn't have nobody around us to tell us what a hook was, what verses was, but we heard our favorite songs. So she sang the hook 3 times. I rapped once, my boy rapped once, and we made a song. And it was the first time I ever even got on stage or got in front of people, but I was so confident in it because I was with my friends. Like, it was just dope that we was able to create it, but seeing people respond to it, I'm like, oh shit, bro. Like, I might can do this for real. So I feel like my whole life I've been inspired to do certain shit, but I think it took me till now to really not believe in myself, but find a real purpose to do it. Find a real reason to do it besides myself, because I love doing it. But now when it comes to rapping and poetry, it is definitely way more than about me. I think God didn't want to give me rap or poetry just for me because of how I am with stuff. I'm kind of selfish with certain things. And I don't think this is a thing I could be selfish with. I don't think I would have dealt with it right. So I think God waited till I was at a perfect time in my life where I could fully handle what can come with if I actually got the opportunities that I get now, that I do wish I got at a younger age. But I'm now blessed with the opportunities that I prayed for my whole life to be coming now. So I feel like it took me a lifetime to find some love in it that wasn't selfish. You feel me?
Absolutely. Now with that, okay, so the first time was at a youth, and by the way, it's even interesting that you say that because the first time you were on the stage, of course, it wasn't just you.
Right.
So it actually kind of fits everything else that you're saying because it wasn't just you.
Never, bro. So, like, and it's crazy. I wrote the bars for my man. Like, so I wrote his raps, wrote my raps, and helped them write the hook. So even then, I was more excited that he was on stage rapping than me. Everybody thought I could rap already in school, but my man Gary was kind of quiet. He really wasn't confident about himself. And the way I saw him rapping, I'm like, nah, bro. If I look halfway like that, this is the best day of my life. You feel me? So I was just as happy and excited for him as I was myself, for real. And that's the love that I have for this shit that has always existed within me, not just the love of doing it, but the love of seeing other people around me do it also. That's really what I love about this shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now do you remember the first time you did poetry on a stage?
Mm-hmm. That was the same year, first grade. It wasn't my it wasn't my poem. Like I told you that same year, I learned the poem Dreams, and my teacher, whoever could memorize the poem first, got no homework for the rest of the week. So we were just in class trying to memorize that bitch, and she gave us unlimited tries in the last 30 minutes of the class to stand in front of the class and recite the poem by heart. And we all tried, and I finally memorized the poem doing that. But after I did, I'm like, this cool doing his poem, but this would be way cooler if this was my poem. So that night I went home and wrote a poem, and that was like the beginning of me writing poetry for no reason. That was the first time I wrote a poem, and there wasn't a teacher saying, oh, this is an assignment, or you read a poem and show us. Nah, I just went home because I didn't want the only poem I knew to be Langston Hughes' poem. If people ask me, like, you're a poet, do a poem. I didn't want the only thing I have to share with someone else's. So that made me go home and learn my first poem.
Wow. Because you were, so here's a foot, so you were already a performer before you were a poet.
Yeah, absolutely.
In theory. Mm-hmm. Which also makes sense as far as what you value, right? When that original question of your journey.
I'm from Baltimore City, bro. So we some dancing ass niggas. I've been dancing my whole life. Like, we had street dances, right, where our whole block went to another block, and we would be out there dancing in front of the whole neighborhood, in front of schools. I was in a marching band called Baysmore. I played the drums. I danced on the drum line. So all my life, I've been in performances and in front of people and doing shit like that. That's just who I've always been. Not until I found rap and poetry did I find something that I really, really love, not just the performance side, but also crafting it. Like, I didn't like sitting in band practice for that part, but I love the walking down the street in front of people part. I love that part. Like, you feel me? So, but for poetry and rap, as much excitement as I get from performing, the therapy for me comes from the writing it part. Me sitting in here, putting all my thoughts together, like, all right, bam, 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 bam. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm here. That process became therapeutic for me. So I end up doing rap and poetry more than other stuff because I didn't find therapy in those things. It was happy and peace, but it wasn't a lot of therapy for me. Writing is the only thing that I do that I feel like I can do well besides basketball, that is therapy. Those are the only things I've ever been able to do in life is basketball, track, and poetry. And they have been therapeutic while I was practicing the craft. Like, while I'm practicing basketball, it's therapeutic as the game. While I'm practicing track, it's therapeutic as the meets. Those are the only things that I've ever done that I've been able to get therapy from, the before and the during. You feel me?
Right, right. So, okay. Now, as you hit your first time performing your first original poem, what was that like? Once you're now you on the stage and you spitting your words, not somebody else.
So that was 5th grade. I was on for class president, and everybody was in the auditorium. They was giving their speeches, like, feel me, their best speeches. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in here and do a cool ass poem on why I should be the class president. You feel me? And I did it. I lost, but I ended up being vice president. You feel me? So it was cool. And I lost to a girl who was just so pretty that everybody voted for her, bro. So I accepted the fact that I lost because she was bad. You feel me? But it was all good. But and the poem was a poem about it's crazy that I'm still writing poetry about my little brother. My brother was bad as a kid, and he had got me kicked out of a school because we went to the same school, and he got kicked out. So I ended up kicked out. So it was the only time I went to a new school, and I had to be a new student in the 4th grade. So by the time the 5th grade came, everybody else had been in school for pre-K on up. So it was kind of awkward me running for class president, and I hadn't been there. You feel me? It was like, damn, I just got here. So I was like, I needed to do something a little bit different because I wanted people to actually know who I was, not just like, know who I was. In fact, the poem did it because after that, people realized that I could rap. So, it was big ciphers and rapping and shit. And that kind of transferred over to middle school because those same kids end up going to my middle school. So from elementary school to middle school, that's kind of what I was known for, like the little rapping kid and shit like that. Even though poetry is what I did. It didn't matter how much poetry I did as a kid. That always translated back over to rap as a kid. It's not until I got an adult that poetry kind of get its own space. I don't think people comprehended the poetry the way they needed to. They just heard a rapper within like, oh, you should go rap. Go to the studio. It was rap. People didn't say go do slams or I didn't know anything about that. I found that shit out on Clubhouse 3 years ago. I lived in a city where 3 blocks from me, some of the best slammers in the world were. And I'm like, oh shit, how didn't I know that? So that's kind of my gripe against poetry. It's like poetry is a dope place, but why wasn't I been welcome here? Why did it take me so long to find it? Why was it so hidden? So although I love poetry, I am the biggest advocate. I want to see everybody shine. I'm also like, I'm a nerd. You watch Naruto?
I know what you're talking about. I know about it.
So there's a character in the show, and his name's Sasuke. He's pretty much Naruto's rival in a sense until at the end of the show, people realize he was as good as him. And I feel like that when it comes to poetry. I have a love for it, and I'll always protect the village. But the person that I have to be to make the village prosper, some people might not be able to understand what that love look like. Some people might see that love as evil. They might see it as too much, but that's the person I am in poetry. And I don't want to be anybody else in it, because what I don't want to ever be and what I don't want poetry to be from anybody is hidden. So if I have to be the martyr to be the whore for poetry, literally, so that everybody in my city and everywhere I go and everybody I know knows that us poets exist and we are here making noise regardless of what kind of noise it is, I'm going to be that person. Because I don't like the fact that I couldn't find poetry on mistake or it didn't come find me, that I had to go to Clubhouse stuff. And I don't have a person to blame for that. So for that, I'm going to take that on the chin. But the person I'm going to become because of that, well, anybody who says they don't know poets are around now is lying. They lying. Not in this city they don't know, because I'm everywhere. I'm at bars, clubs, recreation centers, jails, basketball courts, street corners, in the mall. I'm doing poetry everywhere. You're going to see me or somebody I know doing some poetry, because that's how it should be. Not how I want it to be, bro. No. That's how it should. You see rappers everywhere, dancers everywhere, singers everywhere. Until we're like that, I'll be whatever people want me to be. But by the time I get to that point, it won't even matter what they think anyway.
Yes. So all right. Just a small detour. One of the things that reminds me of is, now, mind you, I've been doing poetry, for a long time. I was introduced to Langston Hughes as a kid, but I didn't know that there's a section of people that have no clue what spoken word is. That's not a thing to them. They've never heard of it. They don't know what it is. And if you do it, you have to explain it. And you have to say spoken word poetry. And even when you say that, they still don't really know until you do it. I did not know
bro,
that.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why I don't say it. That's why when people ask me what I think I am, I don't know what I am. I'm just me. Because I don't want people to ever look at me and assume that I'm one specific thing. Whatever I wake up and want to be. One day I'm a writer. One day I'm going to write a book. One day all of my poems are going to be a music video. One day all of my poems are going to be me just talking in front of a TV. I don't know what I want to do till I wake up. You don't get to decide that, and you don't need to wonder what I'm doing. Just consume what I'm giving you. The time it takes you to decide what you think I am is taken away from the energy you could be doing from enjoying and taking the content that I have to give. You don't walk up to rappers and be like, hold up, are you a backpack rapper? Are you a street rapper? Are you a gangster rapper? Nobody says that shit to rappers. No, nobody say that. You don't walk up to songwriters like, oh, you're an R&B star. You're a folk singer? Nobody say that shit. They listen to the music and determine what they think it is from how they feel. So if you're not going to do that, you're not even listening to me. You're not listening to me. If you have to ask me what I am, if you have to determine it anyway, if you don't know after I'm done talking what the fuck I am, you wasn't listening. If you have to ask me what I think I am when I'm done doing my work, tell me a time where a nigga did a dance or a rap or anything, and you had to ask him after he was done, hey, Jay-Z, are you a rapper? Are you a gangster rapper? Are you a street rapper guy? Has anybody ever asked you that? You ain't never heard that shit. So when poetry gets that way, I'll be happy with it. You feel me? I'll be
Right.
content with it. But until then, nah. I'm gonna be the good, bad, and all the middle, bro.
So okay, right now knowing now again, and I, you know, I'm not even gonna go to one of my favorite meetings of you with these type of speeches. Because by the way, now just so you know, you watching Hats Off with G Jones every Thursday 7:30. This is what we do: have conversations with tastemakers, change makers, people doing the things, you know, that can help, and specifically to help other people trying to figure it out, specifically while being entertaining as well. Today I have my man Artie Foxx, fresh out of Baltimore, but he's traveled and done spoken word. He's a hip hop artist. He's with the squad, and he does and he leads a movement called Rappers Poetry. Now, with that said, as you started, you know, being on different stages and you started performing, you started to kind of see it, started to understand it, really get in touch with poetry. Did you wind up having a different approach, or do you have a different approach when you're you know, doing spoken word on the stage versus when you spitting versus when you with the whole squad and it's, you know, you and the group and y'all are you know, all rapping together?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'm still so I'm so used to it being a group. I love my niggas so much because I went to school and I did a lot of other stuff. And in the midst of it, my friends stayed on the course and it was hard. I know it was hard. Life happened, and in a place where there's not a lot of rappers and a lot of people showing love, my friends stayed the course, right? So by the time I was to a point where I'm like, fuck it, I want to be a rapper. Well, one of my good friends was one of the best battle rappers in the world. So I didn't have to look for fans. I didn't have to look for cameramen, for studios, for any of that. That stuff was already a given. The first song I put out got 5,000 plays on what's the orange app? SoundCloud. First song I put out. The first song, literally the first song, Ass, did it in my man house. Not that good. But I say that to say, from that song, got booked at a place called the Black Hole here in Dundalk in Baltimore. Then got booked for 2 more shows off that first song. And this is all because of my friends, and I know this. It wasn't because of me, because they saw me with them all the time. They seen the work. They see me in the videos. They see me at the studio. They knew me as a personality, but not as a rapper. People were intrigued to see what the fuck is he saying. You feel me? So I've never had to, quote unquote, be at the bottom when it comes to being a performer. Every stage I went to, there's people to watch me. I've never performed in front of an empty room. I hear people say, "Oh, you don't know what it." I don't, and I'm blessed to never have to ever perform for less than 5 people, ever. Not a rapper, not a poet, nothing. And I've always gotten paid to perform. That's another thing. I got a feature before I did a song. I did 3 features before I hadn't even made my own song before. I got paid for features because I was in the studio with my friends while they were getting featured, and the person wanted me on the song too. Happened 3 times. You feel me? So I'm blessed to be able to say that when it comes to that part of it, I was blessed to be given so much. So now on the other side of it, when it comes to poetry, now me finding all that for myself and not realizing the importance of me finding it for myself. Because unlike rap, my friend's not here no more. So when it came to some of the experiences, I expected things to be a certain kind of way because I'm spoiled in it being that way and not realizing I ain't do that. They did that for you. But they were doing it so well and they did it for so long that you didn't even realize that it was something that they were doing for you. So it makes me go back and appreciate my friends that much more because a lot of the pain and a lot of the hard times I didn't have to go through. So now when I get on stage, me now finding that light for myself, me accepting that it is my time. I still have a problem with that in a sense. Like people reach out to me and I fuck up sometimes, offer me a feature. I'm like, well, can this person come? And I'm like, why didn't you negotiate your own money first and then figure out if they can come? Because I'm already ready to bring everybody. I'm already ready to because like when you just said rap is poetry is a movement, bro. There's no other word that could explain it. It's not a group. It's not a clique. It is a movement of people. And when I move, we move. So it's like you can't just book me. And I know that most people don't want to hear that. So in order to make that a reality, I got to just do it myself, bro. I'm doing it myself until other people see the value in everything I believe in. So this year, bro, I probably had like 17 features. I got offered like 40, no cap. But I had 17 because in those 17, either opportunities for my friends to also benefit or opportunities after me for my friends to benefit. And half of them don't even know that. If they don't watch this live, they won't know that. Half of them, if the person didn't say, I'll make sure they're featured next month, or I'll fly them out next week, or the next time I have an event, and didn't stand on that, I'm not doing it. But in doing that, I missed my own blessings, not realizing if I would have took those jobs, and then after I got there, then figured out who I could get with me. So the thing that I'm working on the most right now is to realize that it is my time. And in order to be the best version of me I can be, I have to first get myself there. No matter how much I want it to be a movement, in order for the movement to be able to move, somebody got to be driving. And if someone's not driving, either you won't move or you'll get stared by somebody else. So when I started this off speaking about my friends, well, while I was gone, I didn't realize they had become the designated drivers, you know? And they did it so well that when I got out of that car, I didn't even know how to drive. So now I have to make sure now, starting from scratch, that I go back to driving school and go get my learner's permit and get my license again, get a new car insurance for myself, so that if anybody gets out of the car, I can get myself where I need to go.
Listen, woo, man. Listen, first of all, I might have to put that up. That was one of them moments. A, B, and you gonna hate what I'm about to say, but it's too funny to not take it. If anybody, if you're unsure, I need you to listen to what he just said and understand why Bronny might be able to make it. See, you'll see why Bronny is in the summer league and when he figure it out right now, right? That what he just described is what we're watching Bronny go through right now. I'm just saying, 0 3-pointers. That's exactly what he's describing. Okay, he is learning how to play.
That's why I tell people, don't be mad at what you think the nepotism is and Bronny making it, right? Because no matter how far his father got him, he has to do this part on his own. This is the part that we can talk to Bronny about. Anything before this, you better not be mad at me for my dad being a good dad, bitch. How dare you be mad at my dad for being a good dad and I ain't had no dad growing up. I wish a nigga would. I will ride for Bronny on that side of the border. I'm willing to fist fight anybody that got a problem with LeBron being a good dad. I ain't had no fucking dad growing up. LeBron can call me right now and I'll be his stepson. What the fuck is he talking about? Get me on the Lakers, Bron. I've been waiting out to get my knee fixed. I come off the bench, whatever you need me to do, bro. I've been a ball boy. I've been a fucking ball boy, man. Get me in there, bro. Like, you feel but on the side of not understanding that in life, opportunities come. Everybody can get an opportunity. Not everybody can make light of that opportunity. And I'm not bragging. Brandon called me, and about 9 people had an opportunity to do exactly the same thing I did. And about 8 of those people had excuses for why they couldn't make it to Vegas and a time limit to get there. They had the same opportunity as they did and I did. Except when I got there, none of them was there. So you know what I got to do? To take advantage of all the stuff those other people wasn't there to do. Times 10. Opportunity comes, bro. You can't be mad at people for opportunities because they have to now play a part. We all got to work, bro. Ain't nothing easy or free for nobody. But the opportunities that we get from our family, from people around us, that's exactly what the fuck I'm working for. So everybody behind me don't have to go through and do the shit I had to do. So when they get here, they got an easy ride. Because my friends did that for me. I owe that to the people behind me to make sure they ain't got to go through the bullshit. I didn't even realize how good I had it. I want my friends to not realize how good they got it. Like that ass. If that's not what we doing it for, why are you doing this shit? Why am I willing to put my all into this for this lifetime only? No, I am putting my all into this so this shit lasts forever. Forever, bro. Niggas don't get immortalized for being okay. Nah. You get immortalized for being great forever. Not just while you live, but making sure when you die, the energy is still here, bro. My grandma will forever be alive because of me and then my kids and my brothers and sisters' kids because she installed something in us. That's what I want to do. Through my words, through my work. You feel me?
Ooh, I do. I think anybody watching this is automatically going to feel you. It comes in from the first thing that you said, in the way that you speak, in the way that you kind of deliver that art. Now, I'm just curious because we talked around it, but I want to dive in. Rap is poetry. What was your vision for that? Like, and did it change over time?
So honestly, bro, I came to Clubhouse and there was a bunch of dope. Matter of fact, Deep Thoughts was just in there.
Yes.
Deep Thoughts was there. There was a bunch of dope poets, right? Black men. And I heard them talking so confidently. And I came in and I would listen to the poetry and I'm like, damn, this is dope. I want to be a part of this. I was on Clubhouse in the rap rooms. So I started coming into those rooms, but what I realized is that though it sounded like me, there was something different about them that wasn't like me. And I wasn't sure what it was. I wasn't sure what I was missing, right? And what it was is that I still needed to find my own purpose. I didn't need, and I don't want to sound cocky, but I am such a leader when it comes to the person I am, right? So when I see something going, but when I see flaws and things or kinks and stuff, I'm like, I can't let those people lead me because they don't even see the flaws in their leadership. I think the most important thing about being a leader is understanding that we are all flawed people. So if you're not willing to learn and keep creating and keep growing, you're not worth being a leader to me. So for me, seeing that, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just going to get all the dope people I know, and we're going to create our own shit. And for me, being a rapper and not being accepted at first and wanting people to understand, like, yo, my rap is just as much poetry as y'all poetry is poetry, period. So rap is poetry. I didn't even know at first that was like a saying or a worldwide thing until I tried to go get the LLC for it. And I'm like, oh shit, this is a thing? Like, oh damn, I'm not the only person that thinks rap is poetry? Oh shit. And then the more I say it and then, getting merch and realizing that there is I'm not lying, almost 50% of the people I come across feel exactly how I feel about it. So it was like, all right, this is something that needs to be a consistent in my life. So I didn't really have a vision for it. I just wanted everybody to be around it, to be themselves. There was a guy, rest in peace to Michael Roethlisberger, 78-year-old man who believed in me almost more than other black people believed in me. My homegirl Jay, my homeboy I Am, Jonesy. It was like the land of misfits. Black, white, Asian, couple gay people, just a mixture of vibes. And we all was just looking for somewhere to be ourselves. And it was like, fuck it. Why keep looking? Let's just be us here. And that's kind of how it started, bro. Like, and to be honest, it's never changed. I mean, now me, Brown Paper Doll, Uncultured Asian, and Melissa, Skits, it's the same. It doesn't matter the people who end up coming around and being a part of the movement. What it is so what it is that even if I step away from it, it's already that. And that's all I ever wanted it to be. Something that exists way beyond who I am and what I do. So that it can be that same energy for whoever comes in contact with it, not just me doing poetry. Nah, that's just one small part of it. The energy that comes from all of us doing poetry together. Now that's rap is poetry.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you. So here's what's dope about that to me. What's dope about that to me is kind of just hearing it and understanding that that vision runs so deep. I'm gonna tell you one of the interesting things that irritates me too about music right now in hip hop. Actually, it literally irritates me about hip hop, and I love hip hop. Like I literally love hip hop. When I say I love it, it's in my vein. I've learned even to the point in which the stuff that the world don't like, even the stuff that I don't like, I can appreciate because I understand that it's made for a certain room. It might not be made for the room I'm in or the room I'm going to, but it's made for a certain room, and I can get it. The thing that bothers me is, right, when you launched, you know, it was always funny because I never had this conversation with you, but rap is poetry being the thing, and I feel like a lot of, and I hate sounding like the old man in the room, but I feel like a lot of modern people don't necessarily know what rap stands for, right? And they might not know what R&B stands for, right? R&B has always stood for, and literally the words mean rhythm and blues. It's not complicated. That's what R&B is. Period. Point blank. That's where it came from. That's what it is. Well, if you walk to a random stranger, you can walk to somebody who loves the music and say, hey, what does rap stand for? They're like, what you mean? What's rap? What is it? First of all, they love to make it nothing but pop culture. Oh, well, rap music is to this. And I'm like, no, literally, rap is rhythm and poetry. Rap literally is poetry. Like it's literally what it's in the word, because the word is an acronym. Okay, like it bothers me that like people, and then it shouts out because I get the melodic vibes. I wholeheartedly. I'd be lying if I said sometimes I ain't with it too. But if we're going to talk about what rap music is, it's rhythm and poetry. So you can't leave out the poetry just because you like the rhythm. Okay, like it's just not. It's not the same thing. Like you can, but it's not that anymore. So, and I think that people don't realize that rap is poetry, right? Like they don't. There's a dot that should be connected. Shouts out to K Dot because he's connected the dot. he connected a big dot for that exact statement, right? That exact statement is what he's did with a lot of what he was doing. Is pointing out that, hold up, there's supposed to be poetry in this. This ain't just, you keep making me dance and wave my hands, and that's cool. Like, hey, we good. But when I get to these bars, when I get to this hip hop, I need that poetry to be a part of it, right? And that the fact that you're like, wait, hold up, we can start a movement with this and leading. To me, that's what's dope to me. That like I had to just give you your flowers on that because that's a fire thing to do and galvanize people more.
Hey, bro, the thing is, I didn't even realize that was what was happening. Like in the midst of, again, just being myself, something that I believed in, something that I felt strongly about. And after me pushing forward with it and then looking almost like stop to look behind, like, wait a minute, yo, no lie. Remember in Forrest Gump when Forrest just started running, bro?
Yeah.
I literally feel like that. Like no, one day I was like, all right, fuck it. And I just broke and I just started running. And I looked behind me and it was mad people running with me. Except we didn't get to that point when Forrest was like, all right, I'm gonna stop. Like it doesn't happen. Like we take mad breaks in different towns, meet some people, and then we start running again. And we've been running ever since, bro. And it's like one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life to run for what I thought was not a purpose, for what I thought was me running for nothing. And in the midst of running, found more purpose in just running than actually finding a purpose in running. If that even sounds or makes sense, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The purpose was the running, but me thinking that I was looking for another purpose the whole time, and it just got so good at running So now running is what I do. I
Yes.
just do it very well.
Yes. It's like when they say appreciate the journey.
Wow.
Like you spend so much time looking for the destination and you don't realize that the destination is within the journey.
The journey. The journey is the journey, bro. I say it all the time. Like, everybody is looking for the end of the show or the end of the road or the end of the rainbow, or it's like, nah, bro. The reality is, not everybody gonna get to the end of the show. Not everybody gonna make it to the end of the journey. And some people, the end of the journey is the end of their life. So it's like, we can't look, not to say don't look forward to that, but in the midst of looking forward to that, remember that what creates the pot of gold at the end is actually running up the rainbow. If you even go back to think about it, well, when it came to finding the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, we can always see the rainbow, but not the pot of gold. Well, the kick was you had to be the person that the rainbow was for. And when you got closer to the rainbow now was something you can walk and move on. And at the other side of it was the gold. Anybody could see the rainbow. Everybody can see the journey. But only the people who actually walk on the journey get the gold or even see the gold. So until you actually realize that the purpose of the journey is the journey, until you see that, you never really get to going anywhere. You never get to going on that rainbow road. You get to see it, you move closer to it, it might vanish, come back, but you never get to walk on that until you accept the fact that no matter what is at the end of that rainbow, I gotta walk on that shit. I gotta take the journey and enjoy every step of the journey, because every step makes the journey that much more a journey for you and worth walking.
Woo! And that actually brings me to my next question. Here, I love this. Is fun. All right, so this is a question that I ask all my guests. And I'm curious what you say. I asked all my guests if you had to give an advice to your younger self, right? So there was a young Artie Foxx, right? This young Art, you know what I mean? Big A, little A in the building, you know what I mean? Whatever. But the year is still 2024. So what advice would you give to a younger version of yourself if the year is still now?
The same exact advice that I would give myself if it was the year I was actually born, regardless of how anybody around you acts or what they tell you. Be yourself. Whatever that looks and feels like to your little corny ass, be that. Don't go looking for other stuff to be. You don't need to find something else to be. All this stuff that you are right now, in like 25 years, you're going to be a greater version of all this stuff. So all this stuff that people are teasing you about, laughing at you about, not respecting you for, hone into that stuff right now. Get good at it right now. Maybe you'll end up Bill Gates. Maybe you'll end up making the first Tesla. Maybe you'll end up making the first video game system that hasn't been created yet. Because I feel like if I wouldn't have calmed a lot of versions of myself down, the person I would be a different person. People convinced me that I had to go and find me. Nobody ever told me was already me. Nobody ever said that. So I would tell myself, you are already you. Contrary to the people around you, they might have to go find themselves. But you are already you. God blessed you with you at the beginning of your journey. Now your journey is about taking this journey with you and accepting that you are you. Don't go looking for other people. Definitely go searching for a whole bunch of other shit. But you ain't one of the things you need to go looking for. You already in that backpack, in that video game, in those cards, in that basketball, in those raps, all the things that you engulf yourself with is already with you. Now be the best at all this stuff right now. And maybe it won't take till I'm 30 to figure out all the stuff I'm good at.
There's beauty in the journey. So you had to go through the journey, good brother. It is what it is. We just had that conversation. Oh man. All right. With that said, so thank you so much for joining. One of the things I tell all my guests on my show is I tell people, if you give me a word, I give you a poem. However, whenever I have a fellow poet on my show, I also offer the option of, if you choose to, you can either give us a word or you can give us a poem. Whatever you want to do. I've had people pick either or. So if you give me a poem, then I'll reply with a poem that's in context to what you give me. If you give me a word, I'll reply with a poem that's in context to the word you give me. So whatever you give me.
A poem. I don't want to give you no fucking word. Didn't you just hear me say I don't give a fuck about words? You just heard me say that. Like, I give you a fucking word. I even hate that. That's why people like, give me a word. I'm like, nah, I'm giving you a bunch of words. I'm not about to just give you one word. One word is too. I feel like as an artist, one word is way too easy for us to. Nah, nigga, you gotta do a bunch of words.
Yo, you ain't gotta open up the sauce packet and show everybody the sauce right now. Listen, anybody out there, if y'all want to just give me a word, feel free.
Y'all do that. When I come around Dash, she getting a couple words. Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. I know his ability. Regardless if he want to accept it, I know his abilities. So I know one word is nothing to this man. I wish I would never. Hell no. One word.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to edit this part out. Listen, all right. So no. I'm joking. Oh, but that is hilarious to me. Oh man, you said that. Now here's the thing. While you figure out which you gonna go with or which way you put, I gotta do a quick hat tip.
Ready, about to say, whenever you're ready.
Hold on, I gotta give flowers to some folks. So I call this section is a quick hat tip. Hat tip. I like to tip my hat first and foremost to the Wilmington Art Loop. Why? Because me and my man Grillo, we was out there. We hit 5 different galleries doing improv spoken word to the art pieces in the gallery. So the first week of every month, that's what we doing. You know, shouts out to the city of Wilmington. Shouts out
hey Brian, I'm stealing your idea, so I'm telling you before I do it that I'm stealing your idea. I do an open mic every other Thursday at an art gallery, and it's dope shit in there, and I've always thought about doing that. So just because you said it, I'm just telling you I'm about to start doing poems in front of all the art, bro. So thank you, bro.
I was going to tell you, I was going to have you call me, or I was going to call you after here because I got a couple ideas for you anyway. So don't even worry about that. I ain't even going to hold you. I got a couple wheels turning, and I just wanted to give to you. So we'll talk out of this after this anyway. So shouts out to the Art Loop. Everybody involved, cultural affairs, making it happen. Shouts out Tish, Tina Betts, everybody just cooking. We definitely was on that shuttle making some dope stuff happen. Also, I gotta give a shout out to quick hat tip. Give a quick hat tip to Janice King Art, because I was up in the fashion show. You know what I'm saying? I was hosting the fashion show on Saturday. Man, beautiful wearable art. Everybody was moving through. It was a dope vibe, amazing energy in there. So I just got to give shout out, show some love to that. All the beautiful models involved. Y'all was rocking it. Also, Crystal Baynard-norman, I got to sit back and watch her do the poetry. She did. Listen, it was amazing. A poem about that took us to feel it, and there was a special painting about the Afro diaspora that was just amazing. So shouts out to Janice King and everybody involved with that. Also, hat tip. Listen, Sara Crawford. Listen, shouts out to you and your mama for the barbecue, because y'all, I know y'all did the thing. Sometimes you got to shout out to mama for the barbecue. So shouts out to y'all for that. Also, hat tip. Listen, I was at this the UAE theater. I want to give a shout out to Shoni Music. Oh, listen, she performed last night. I was hosting. It felt like warm hugs to the soul. It was just like, oh, wait, it was 3 of them. It was 3 black women that felt like, I guess they would be folk singers. But if y'all look up Shoni Music, you going to feel it like warm hugs. Just, oh, why that feels so good. Listen, vibes. Also, lastly, also got to let people know. Oh, got to give a quick shout out to Launcher. Blip, blip. Listen, if you want to get your business plan together, look up Launcher, boom, or Build from Within Alliance. That's what we do. That's what, I mean? Go ahead, sign up for the classes before it's too soon. That's it. Before it's too soon. Go ahead, get your, get it on, do your thing. You see what I'm saying? So go and check that out. I think that's everything. I think I checked all the boxes. And if anything that I happen to forget, I did. Dyad came through yesterday. Shouts out to Dyad. The music.
You better do the hat tip. I done put my hat on, man.
I gotta give a hat tip to Dyad. Blip, blip. Listen, I was giving away. We did a whole secret surprise moment for Dyad. It was Candace's birthday. Lamont was on the boom, 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 killing me softly. It felt good to your soul when they sang that drink. And I'm gonna shout out Rich Raw. Listen, he outside. You would like him. The bars he got, you would like him. Check out Rich Raw. Listen, I'm sure he out there doing a performance, and they got Northside Day coming up. Not Northside Day. Northside Day is coming up, so shouts out to Northside for life. But they also got Northside community situation with Songbird TheGoddess, and he's a part of organizing that. So he got the bars, and he's helping put together the community affairs. So shouts out to Rich Raw for kind of putting that together, and shouts out to Songbird TheGoddess because she'll be featured on that stage. Okay, yeah, I gave gratitude. Now, hats were tipped. Blip, blip. So, with that said, good sir, what you got for me?
I reached out to some folks that claim to be my ops and my enemies, but life is getting way too slim. Plus, God reminded me that even those who don't like me, they're going to lead me back to him. That's crazy. Sometimes I forget it. People who I don't like, I give so much energy from, and the people I love, they be missing. But I love my little brother. I mean, since a kid, we had matching vibes. I mean, we sit strong from our mom and agreed that no matter how other people's eyes drifted, we would always see us. He was my Dragon Ball brother. Only we saw our best firms when we fused. I mean, I was always Goku, and he'd be Vegeta. Somehow our power levels got over 9,000, and we forgot that we were the only people with the keys to free us. And for some reason, I was the only person that could affect them in certain ways. We get mad and say hateful things like ew, your dark skin, African booty scratcher. That's that off skin. That bugs on. We go outside, you can't even spray off skin. That why you look so rough? You don't got that soft skin. That black and purple. Why when you in the dark you always get so lost skin? I ain't realized I hurt his feelings. And he didn't realize that he actually hurt mine. Ew, boy, that light skin. You think we talking about you? You so conceited. That's that not right skin. That you soft. Look at your knuckles. You probably can't fight skin. That boy, your yellow ass always talking and shining that night skin. Look at you. Blending in again with the crackers. You got that white skin. And y'all slaves mentality at a young age, we both started to fade reality. Even before we left my mom's house, we started out way behind. Me and my poverty porn brother was fucked up off the rip. I mean, shadows that haunted our bodies and invaded our minds. And it was hereditary too. It kind of affected my mom. I mean, I got praised more for the trouble I stirred up than being a strong black man. So why did I get confused that I pick bullshit every time? Thinking about the people who raised me and the point they directed me like that's where you should climb. Did they want me to fall? Like, why we fight so much? Me and my brother, we was alike so much. I mean, it was actually a shame. Pain so sharp it actually got strange. So many arguments and altercations, we forgot we was the same. I mean, throughout our life, our chi and our chakras, power levels, they got affected. I mean, it was insane. I wish I had the same thing that Flash had. I go to the speed force and point out all the bullshit that I had to change. Like, thoughts consistently became a rage. I mean, feeling most of the bullshit. So I let my brother to a cage. Now I sit on the phone mourning my lost grandmother, jail calls and tears running back. I promised that our lives were the same. I mean, small differences. I mean, God's presence and a lack of just freedom. My brother calling himself the supervillain, his feelings and how we act. Me crying over the phone, reminding him that we are forever heroes. Just make sure God colors our powers in all black. And the call ended. And it was all black.
I'm thinking about all of that. Like, it's hard for me to stop when you swear that who loves you reflects the everything of what you can display as an op. And maybe you only called them that because it was funny sometimes and it felt like it, but you didn't realize that once I plant the seed, it's going to be able to grow if it's what I choose to feed, and that growth will continue to happen nonstop, even if I didn't explain it to myself or understand that it can also grow weeds. See, I didn't realize what it was supposed to be. I was just hoping that if you could see me, you could look, but half the time I was more so praying they just didn't notice me. I know that it was automatically going to be a judgment for those who were like me, and those who were supposed to be living like me. It's weird when they don't even like me. It's okay, I get it. They say all kinfolk ain't friend folk, but I didn't learn that because I didn't realize that skin folk doesn't do more than make you all a part of the same diaspora. That's it. In a lot of ways, culturally, we feel the same things, and then sometimes I'm amazed because they don't understand what this is. I get it. Now, based on what they see when they see me, I'm guaranteed to automatically be so angry. You want me to lie and say that it ain't me? I wish I could, but I've had so much suppression and systematic stuff happen to me that I don't have a space for my anger to live in the place of immunity. So what do you want to do? Okay, I'm just speaking truthfully. Right. So then when I decide to understand your what's, where's, when's, and why's, I know that you can speak from the other side, but the wildest part is that sometimes they can judge that skin color of another without understanding that that brother still resides on the same side and has the same hanger that hides behind his eyes, and therefore what he will do to prove to you that he will not be whatever you judge him to be, whoa, you might want to have to run and hide. I ain't gonna lie, I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm only searching for the word because sometimes it comes with a confusion that burns. Therefore, it's that same acceptance that they yearn. Therefore, they say that the difference is things that creates differences. And all of a sudden, when that feeling occurs, this is when those ones that you had love for now are getting on your last nerves. See, oh, I'm hearing this, and yo, bro, I see you. Because what you don't realize is between Goku and Vegeta, wait, it gets real cold. Because y'all both supposed to be fighting a freezer. See, they don't get that. It's hard to see that. Matter of fact, it's real easy to react to the fact that why we ain't both in agreement. Oh, I get it, because unity is a part of community, but I understand that those things don't always matter. So now, all we can do is look back and figure out, why did we come to this? Why did it come to that? Why did they push me to not be all the things that they pushed you to be, because all of a sudden that's how we find our acceptance and deep reverence. This is crazy to me, because if I don't become what they expect me to be, then all of a sudden somebody was neglected. Oh, but they're only upset by the way that I said it. I get it. I get it. I get you in ways that made me have to understand all of that. See, I realize that it sounds insane to say that it's all the same game as long as you're playing as the Flash or A-Train. Them boys is crazy. All I want them to do is understand that it's not supposed to be easy, but you're not supposed to be lazy. See, sometimes you have to be all you can be, and then you will see that the partners in crime aren't meant to just be criminals, because in that same frame of mind, what they can do will do more than amaze me. So you can be driven towards a space that you're not supposed to be, only because that's the only thing that they told you that you were supposed to be. Hope that y'all listening to yourself and not even me. Like, I don't even want you to hear what I'm trying to say over the words that your spirit is starting to speak. See, because what I want them to do is make sure that they can craft a future for you. And that future may not look like I named it to be. It may not look like I was meant to be stereotypically. It may not look like the shoe that I was walking in, because that shoe ain't even fit me. I had to get my right size. And a lot of times it took way too many steps. My feet hurt and I was tired. See, so what I need them to do is craft for you is something that makes you understand that what you are is what you're meant to be. And we can color it whatever you want to color it, as long as it's your color. I'll start with mine. Brown, black, whatever. I just need all of that. Cool.
Oh, that shit was fire, bro. That shit was dope, bro.
Yeah. That was one of them ones. That was we've never done that. I've been on a lot with you before. We've never stopped and worthy that joke. We never got the with it. That was
for sure.
That was cold.
That was cool, bro. For sure.
That was cold. All right, brother. And thank you for sharing that, especially for it to be such a personal piece. Like it. You know, that it really did. It hit me. So that's why I had to get myself together in starting. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so real. So.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, whenever I hear people say that, for me, that's a regular poem, bro. It's a regular poem. I don't know. I don't have nothing to hide anymore. So when I think about not having nothing to hide or nothing, there's no uncomfortable when it comes to how I feel. When it takes to see or be happy to me is getting all that shit out. So there's no uncomfortable poetry for me no more. I don't have an uncomfortable spot within poetry. All of my poetry I'm comfortable with, because regardless if it's something I'm going through or getting through, how we talked about, I'm in love with the journey. So I know that even when I'm going through stuff, that this point of my life is either some growing, some going, some life, bro. I can't control the past. So I try my best not to be mad at my father for not being there. Be mad at my ancestors for not doing what I think black people should do, right? I can't do that. But what I can do is any of the pains that I have or things that I feel, make sure I don't be that. Make sure I don't be that. And the things and the energy I push, it's something that I'm comfortable with. And when I have kids and when my nieces and nephews grow up, I already see it. It's so beautiful to me that I see my nieces and nephews mimicking me and wanting to be like me. And it's not the negative stuff about me. It's not the things that I'm like, no, don't do that or don't say that. It's you saw me doing that? Like I came into the crib the other day and I took my niece to the dollar store, and out of all the shit she wanted a book. Like, why do you want a book? Like, I'm just intrigued. Like, why at the dollar store? Like, we can go to the library, we can go anywhere else and get a fucking book. Get some candy like you always get, so we can go. But she's in the book aisle for 30 minutes, and she gets a book, and she comes here and she's reading a book, and I'm interested. Like, what are you doing reading that book? What is so good about this book? well, you got all those books upstairs. And I'm like, wait. And then that was the whole answer. And I'm like, yo, is that really why you got this fucking book? I could have just gave you a book. But the fact that you were proactive with your $1.25 and got your own book that you could take home and do the stuff you want with it. It's like, all right. So me seeing that is like, I don't worry so much about what the future looks like so much that I can continue to make it look bright. I know that what I'm doing is the right stuff. So for all the people who don't like me or don't show me love or whatever the case might be, those people don't affect me because the people that matter the most to me, I know for a fact, won't go through the stuff I went through, won't deal with the things I dealt with. Call me Big LeBron, because everything that I ever do, I will make sure that they have the best ticket or way in that I could possibly get them. And I'm seeing that even before I get to that place, they're already interested in the things I'm doing. So it can't get no worse from here. It can only get better. It can only be more of what I want and what I see it as. So I don't have to wake up wondering if I'm on the right journey or this is the journey for me. Nah. I know this is my journey. It's just every day consistently having the strength and believing in myself enough to continue on the journey. That's all I ask God for, you know.
Woo! That was beautiful. I don't got nothing else to add to that. With that said, this has been like I don't even want to say that. I gotta close out my show, I guess. There's nothing to say after that. Like, you're supposed to just walk off. That's the walk off day. But all right, with that said, this has been Hats Off with G-Jones. See y'all every week, 7:30. Y'all know what we do. Again, shouts out, hat tip, blip, blip, to my man Lex TheGentleman for opening up and closing things.
Shout out to Partners in Rhyme. I seen both of them in here today. I seen Scott and Malik in here. So shout out to Partners in Rhyme. Two dope people all around, man.
Absolutely. And shouts out to Uncultured. You know what I mean? Just cause. I don't know why. It fits. So I'm gonna hit you up after this and we'll talk. And by the way, as I always say, love yourself first and everything else to fall into place. I'll holla.